They say women want love, but that's not the truth. What they truly crave is respect, and not every man gets it. You can be kind, you can be loyal, you can give her everything, and still lose her, because she never respected you. Here's the part most men never see. Respect can't be bought, begged, or demanded. It's earned in silence, through the way you carry yourself when no one's watching. The moment you chase approval, you lose it. The moment you try to prove your worth, you announce that you don't have any. She doesn't test you to see if you'll please her. She tests you to see if you'll stay grounded when she doesn't. So stop asking how to make her love you. Start asking how to become the kind of man she can't help but respect. Because the truth is, a woman can love many men, but she only respects one kind. Number 1, the man who can walk away. The power of detachment. One of the hardest truths for men to accept is that attraction dies the moment dependency begins. A woman can sense it instantly. That silent pull in your energy when you need her approval, her affection, her attention. She might not say it out loud, but she feels it like an animal senses fear. And once she smells that dependency, like blood in the water, the dynamic shifts. You stop being the man she's drawn to and become the man she controls. Because need is weakness, and no matter how much she says she wants love, what she respects is strength. The kind of strength that comes from knowing you can walk away at any time without falling apart. See, most men think walking away means giving up. It doesn't. Walking away is power. It's the unspoken declaration that your peace means more than her presence, that your self-respect outweighs her validation, that you refuse to trade your dignity for the comfort of not being alone. When you reach that point, when you genuinely need nothing from anyone, something changes in your energy. You become calm, grounded, unshakable. You stop reacting, you stop explaining, and paradoxically, that's when people start chasing you, because the man who can walk away is free. Free from attachment, free from manipulation, free from the endless chase for approval. He doesn't demand respect. He commands it simply by being centered in himself. Women feel that. They can't always explain it, but they sense it. That quiet, dangerous confidence of a man who's already whole. He doesn't cling, he doesn't chase, he gives space, because he has purpose. And that purpose makes his attention valuable. His presence becomes something rare, and what's rare is desired. This is the paradox of masculine attraction. The less you need her, the more she feels drawn to you. Not because you're playing games, but because you've mastered yourself. Remember this, the man who needs nothing is the man no one can control. So if you want her to respect you, truly respect you, stop trying to keep her. Build yourself into someone who never has to. Number 2, the man who puts mission before woman, purpose over pleasure. Every man faces a choice, to chase validation or to chase vision. One path gives you pleasure, the other gives you power. Your purpose is oxygen, her validation is smoke. Choose wrong, and you suffocate slowly, smiling but dying inside. The truth most men never learn is this: women aren't drawn to men who orbit around them. They're drawn to men who orbit something higher, a mission, a calling, a code, because a man without direction becomes desperate, and desperation has no gravity. A woman can feel it when you've lost yourself in her, when she becomes your purpose instead of your partner. At first, she might enjoy it, the attention, the constant reassurance. But soon, it begins to rot, because deep down, every feminine soul seeks to surrender to a man who leads, not one who follows her moods. The man who puts his mission before the woman is not cold. He's clear. He knows that love built on dependency always burns out. He doesn't run from connection, but he never lets it control him. He can give love fully because he's already full from within. And that's what separates a grounded man from a lost one. When you live by purpose, you move differently. You wake up with a sense of direction that doesn't require her approval. Your silence becomes magnetic, your discipline intoxicating, because she sees it. You don't need her to feel alive. You're already alive. And that's what makes her want to be part of your fire. Women respect men who build, men who create, men who carry something sacred inside them that can't be bought, begged for, or broken by love. A man who kneels before his vision never kneels before a woman. Not out of arrogance, but reverence for the mission that made him who he is. When you master yourself, the world begins to bend around your focus. That's the quiet rule of power. To rule yourself is to rule the world. So stop chasing her attention. Start chasing your purpose. Because when you devote yourself to something greater than desire, desire starts chasing you. Number 3, the man who is unmoved. Master of emotional control. There's a certain kind of man that women can't shake. Not because he's loud, not because he chases, but because he's unmoved. When she tests you, when she throws chaos your way, when her tone sharpens or her silence freezes the air, you don't flinch, you don't argue, you don't mirror her storm, you remain still, grounded like stone in a hurricane. That calm indifference doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from mastery. Because you understand something most men don't. You don't control her moods, you only control your response. And in that moment, when she pushes to see if you'll break, your composure speaks louder than 1,000 words. It tells her this man cannot be shaken, and that truth drives her insane, in the best way. See, the feminine energy is motion, emotion, rhythm, change. The masculine energy is direction, stillness, presence, control. When she throws chaos, she's not trying to destroy you. She's trying to feel you. She's testing the walls of your strength to see if they'll collapse or hold. Because when she feels your calm, hold firm, she finally relaxes into it. That's when trust is born. The man who is unmoved doesn't suppress emotion. He masters it. He feels deeply, but nothing owns him. Not her love, not her anger, not her silence. Because he knows, the moment you react, you've given away power. The moment you try to control her feelings, you've already lost control of yourself. So he stays still. He listens. He breathes. He lets the storm pass. And when it does, she looks at him differently. Not as another boy fighting for her approval, but as a man who leads himself first. That's the paradox of emotional control. The less you chase peace from her, the more she feels peace with you. Every great Stoic knew this truth. The one who masters his emotions masters desire itself. Because power isn't in domination, it's in restraint. It's in the quiet strength that says, I don't need to react, because I already know who I am. And when a man reaches that point, nothing and no one can move him. Number 4, the man who lives in scarcity, the power of absence. A man who lives in scarcity is a man who understands value. He's not everywhere. He's not available to everyone, and that's exactly why his presence means something. Most men give themselves away too easily, their time, their energy, their validation, like it costs them nothing, but when something costs nothing, it's treated like nothing. The powerful man moves differently. His silence is deliberate. His attention is selective. His world is not open to anyone who knocks. Because he knows what's easily accessed is rarely respected. Scarcity isn't about pretending to be busy. It's not about manipulation or games. It's about living with purpose so deep that not everyone earns a place in it. It's about guarding your energy like a weapon, because it is one. You're not supposed to be available. You're supposed to be rare. A rare man walks with focus. He's not scrolling for validation, not chasing texts, not waiting for attention. He's building himself, his body, his craft, his mission. And because he's busy mastering his own world, the world begins to come to him. That's the paradox of power. The man who doesn't chase attracts. The man who doesn't beg for respect commands it. Because he moves with an energy that says, I don't need you to choose me. I already chose myself. Women feel this immediately. It's primal. They sense when a man's validation is rare. They sense when his standards are high, when his time is sacred. It forces them to rise, to match his gravity, or fall away from it. Women don't respect the man who gives everything away. They don't respect the one who tries too hard to please, who bends every boundary just to be liked. They might enjoy his attention, but they'll never value it. They respect the man who could give everything, but doesn't. The man who looks at beauty and still chooses discipline, who could chase but walks instead, who could please but stays silent, because his worth isn't up for negotiation. Scarcity isn't weakness, it's power in restraint. It's the quiet confidence of a man who knows his value and refuses to trade it for comfort. In a world full of noise, he is the pause. In a sea of approval seekers, he is indifference embodied. He doesn't demand respect, he creates it through absence. Because the rare man doesn't need to be everywhere. He only needs to be somewhere that matters. So stay disciplined, stay silent, stay dangerous. Because the man who lives in scarcity will always be the one the world cannot ignore. Number 5, the final reflection, the Stoic magnet. At the end of everything, it always comes back to presence. Not the loud kind, not the one that seeks to be seen, but the quiet gravity that makes people feel you, even when you say nothing. That's the essence of a Stoic man, the magnet that pulls without reaching. Because attraction, respect, and power, they all flow from one thing: mastery of self. When you can walk away, you hold power. When your mission comes before her, you hold direction. When you're unmoved by her emotions, you hold balance. When you live in scarcity, you hold value. Each of these isn't a tactic. They are reflections of something deeper, a man who no longer needs to prove himself to the world. The world feels that. She feels that, and she can't help but be drawn to it. You see, the Stoic magnet doesn't chase energy. He creates it. Through discipline, through silence, through control. He doesn't yell for attention. His stillness commands it. He doesn't seek approval. His focus earns it. And he doesn't try to be attractive. He becomes unavoidable. Because women don't fall for words. They fall for weight. The weight of a man who's grounded, present, unshakable. The kind of man whose peace is too expensive to be disturbed. That's why, in the end, this isn't a video about women. It's about you. About the kind of man you're becoming when no one's watching. About what happens when you stop chasing validation and start chasing purpose. Every time you choose calm over chaos, discipline over desire, mission over approval, you step closer to becoming that magnetic force the world can't look away from. Because the truth is simple. The man who can sit in silence and still command attention is already magnetic. So stop trying to be liked, stop trying to be chosen, start becoming undeniable, walk in power, move with intention, and never forget, the quietest man in the room is often the one the room revolves around. If this message resonated with you, don't just listen, become it. Subscribe to the Stoic Wolf and join the brotherhood of men who walk in silence, but leave echoes wherever they go.